On the 14th of May 2016, a large group of old Ormonburians, their friends and families, visited the Trolleybus Museum at Sandtoft near Doncaster. One of the attractions was that the museum has no fewer than 3 operational trolleybuses from the former Huddersfield fleet. What's more, one of the trolleybuses was once owned by 2 of those present, who had bought it while they were still pupils at King James's Grammar School.
I attended King James Grammar School in Almonbury from 1960, and I became very interested in the trolleybus system in Huddersfield because I had to travel on them every day from Fartown right across the town to Almonbury. And 2 of my fellow pupils at the time, David Beach and Trevor Longbottom, we all got together, the 3 of us, and decided to start a fund to purchase a trolleybus.
So we started raising funds, I suppose, in about 1964, because we were hoping that some of the older generation would show an interest in preserving one or 2 of the vehicles, but nobody seemed to be doing anything about it. So as sort of teenage lads at King James's, we started collecting money and got publicity in the Examiner, and we ran a tour of the town in the trolleybus, and basically that set the ball rolling. We ended up with a society with about 120 members, I suppose, and by 1968 we'd raised enough funds to purchase one of the trolleybuses at what was then the scrap value, which was £120, which sounds like nothing nowadays, but to us, basically teenagers living on pocket money, it was a huge sum of money at that time.
It's been at Sandtoft, or it's been based at Sandtoft for since 1970, and it's one of the museum's most used trolleybuses, and 2 years ago it was taken to Swindon to be fully repainted and reupholstered inside, so it really is a good looking vehicle. There are also 2 other Huddersfield trolleybuses here. That's number 619, which was bought by a private consortium of people, and number 541, which was presented to the National Trolleybus Association in 1964, and after a long period of being parked outside, it was brought back to Sandtoft and eventually restored. So all those 3 vehicles can be seen today. 2 of them will be running, I think.
The visits brought back many memories.
Sometime in the 1950s, and I don't know how it was, I got talking to him. This was when I was at Almonbury, of course, and I explained I was the secretary of the School Transport Society, and would it be possible to have a look at inside Great Northern Street? And of course he said yes, and he laid on this evening visit, which we went from the school, we went to Great Northern Street. He took us all round trolleybuses being repaired, and at that time the pre-war carriers were being rebodied. So Huddersfield Corporation themselves renovated the chassis, and then the chassis went away to Leeds, the Rows, to have new bodies fitted. So we saw all this work going on in Great Northern Street. Absolutely unmissable. We went underneath trolleybuses, looking at the chassis, something that you just never an opportunity like that would never present itself again. And then we all had a ride on a trolleybus going to Longroy Bridge Depot, We were shown all around along Roy Bridge Depot. It really was something totally memorable.
Well, I was born about the same time as the introduction to trolleybuses in Huddersfield. I was brought up in Berry Brow, and the nearest transport we had at that time was walking up to Newsham Church to catch the tram there. And I think it must have been about 1937 when the trolleybus started to not only run to Newsham Church but extended down to Newsham South. We lived right by the terminus there, and it used to back onto reverse onto Caldercliff Road to turn round, and when it was coming into its terminus, we used to just jump off the back of the bus right by our gate.
Yeah, one thing I remember about Huddersfield, the Huddersfield Cine Club made a film called Docks and Skates, and it was about a day in the life of a trolleybus driver. And I remember this vividly, and I thought, I'll never be able to see that again. And about 20 years ago, I bought the online video of Huddersfield trolleybuses. And lo and behold, in the middle of that is this film by the Huddersfield Cine Club.
On arrival, drivers would first sign on and then collect their running board. Next, they would team up with their conductor or conductress. Most drivers had a regular mate, and the pair would be assigned to the same duty. Jimmy Sykes, who was a relatively recent employee, collects his metal ticket box, which contained a ticket machine, spare tickets and a waybill. He already has his leather cash bag. At the output board, they confirm their turn of duty, their departure time and their allotted vehicle. The star of the film had entered service on the 1st of January 1949 and formed part of two batches of new vehicles delivered during 1947 to 49. 541 to 592 were 30-foot-long 70-seaters with Park Royal bodies on Sunbeam MS2 chassis.
And that, to me, I still have that. And about once a year I play it, and it brings back terrific memories of Huddersfield.
I did just mention earlier about the postal bus, and this used to be instructions at home that I got to be in bed by the time the 9:16 postal bus had gone. And my bed was right under the window, and I could pull the curtain back to one side to watch what was going on. And I used to get people waving to me off the top deck of the bus when it was passing to go into town, which was rather amusing.
After everyone had assembled, it was time for Bruce Lake from the museum to give an informal talk about the origins of the museum and its exhibits. And then there was the opportunity to view the museum and some of the many trolleybuses on display. It was time for something that everyone had come for, a ride on one of the Huddersfield trolleybuses.
Hold tight, please.
That's right for back.
You got came down yesterday. Right, two.
How many laps will we get?
Right.
Two.
Careful. Yeah.
Your tickets, there's 3 autographs, okay? You've got £1 goes inside. So the wheels probably to do the final turn.
There's still time to look at some of the other exhibits. Or maybe just have a final cup of tea. It was a sad day for the citizens of Huddersfield when their trolleybuses were finally withdrawn from service in 1968. But, thanks to the Trolleybus Museum, its dedicated team and its many supporters, the memory of trolleybuses lives on.